Hi, I'm Jennifer with Soul Clarity Coaching, and today's journey is going to be all about affirmations. So please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share it if you like it. Please drop a comment, say hello. I'd love to know where you're from. So let's cover. In this video, we're going to talk about what are affirmations, how do they affect us, what is a positive affirmation, and then what is the other voices that we're telling ourselves, um, and how this shapes our beliefs and our reality. We're going to talk about elevating your energy through affirmations, how we can use it to shift our mindset and change our vibrations. We're also going to talk about how to craft a proper affirmation. What are the key components to it? And we are going to talk about incorporating it into our daily practice. How do we do that? And then we'll wrap it all up with the power of affirmations. So let's dive in. Affirmations. First of all, affirmations are addressing our mindset. So if you saw my previous video that I did talking about vibrations and frequency, this is carrying on from that. You'll know in that video, I talked about how our upper chakras are all based on our mindset, our thoughts, our imagination, and our communication. And then our lower chakras are based on our physical experience. It's our actions and our reactions. So it's all about what we're physically doing in our lives. So this video, when we're talking about affirmations, what we're focusing on is the mindset. It's the upper chakras. Now I'm just going to stop for 1 second and also remind everybody that I did talk about the heart in that last video. And the heart governs our emotion, which is energy in motion. And it is through the emotion of the heart that we harmonize our mindset and our physical bodies. So in this video, we're looking at the affirmations, which is focusing our upper chakras, which is communication, our thoughts, and our imagination. So affirmations are these beautiful tools that brings those three forms together towards the goal that we want to achieve. All right. So we want to, first of all, determine what is the outcome we want from saying these affirmations. Having an intention is incredibly powerful because an intention brings focus. All right. And so the first thing is we have an intention. When you have an intention, it's really an intention of the goal. What is it that you want to change? What is it you want different in your life? What do you like? Just what do you actually want? Why are you saying these affirmations? Why are you even looking and thinking about working with affirmations? What is it about your life you want to change? It could be as simple as your thought right now might be as simple as, I just want to be happier. But ask yourself, what does happier mean? Okay. Define what happier is. Well, then I want to attract a spouse. I want to attract a relationship, a romantic relationship. Again, ask yourself to define that. What does it mean to you to be experiencing a intimate relationship? What does that mean to you? What will it change about your life? What will it feel like to be in that relationship? All right. So we want to imagine it and we want to really bring into focus what our intention is that we're creating. And again, career, that's another very popular one. We want a change in our career. We want to attract new business. We want to increase our sales. We want to increase our productivity, whatever it is to forward our financial channel. Right? Because remember, in other videos, I've talked about the fact that we have 3 channels of expression. One is our health, one is our relationships, and one is our careers or finance. So get your intention around those. And again, if you need some help with that, I do have another video all on intentions. But get defined on what your intention actually is, that is the reason why you're creating the affirmation. So then we want to actually create the affirmations. Now, when we are creating affirmations, what we are doing is stating the truth we want to embody that is going to manifest our intention. Now, the intention is what we want to be experiencing which is different than what we're experiencing now. Okay. So if you have an intention that you are currently experiencing, then it's not an intention. It's an acknowledgement, it's a gratitude, it's an appreciation of what you currently have. An intention is always something that you don't have right now. And an affirmation is always formed on something we don't have now, but we want. All right. And so the affirmation, positive affirmation that is stating to yourself what the new intention is. And you want to say it in as if you are experiencing that intention. So you want to make it present moment, and you want to make it centered from you. It's not about, an affirmation is not about anybody else but you. The intention, the end result as to what you are trying to create by doing the affirmations, that may have impact on everybody else. Well, it will have impact on everybody else. But the actual affirmation is your part of that intention, right? It's about how you need to change to align to that intention. So it's about changing the way you communicate. The intention behind an affirmation, or the tool of an affirmation, is used to shift the way that we communicate, shift the way that we think, and shift the way that we imagine. All right. And so what you're doing when you say affirmations is you're collectively putting a focus of that, what you want to create, the manifestation that you want to create, your goal. You're putting that goal as the primary focus for your communication, your thought, and your imagination. So affirmations are confirming statements from the personal perspective of the manifested result. Hopefully you've followed that. So I'm going to do some examples here. And again, for those of you who don't know, I have an idea of what I'm going to talk about, but I don't actually have it programmed word for word. It's not the way I think. I have to allow things to come through as they come through. I work in conjunction with spirit all the time. So back to so how do we create affirmations? Let's say, let's go into relationships. You want to attract a loving relationship, a partner. I'm talking about a romantic, loving relationship. Okay. The first thing you want to do is use your imagination to imagine what that relationship is. All right. Then you're going to use your thought to clarify that imagination. What would it actually, this is often where people get confused when they do manifesting and goal related. You have the imagination, which is the dreaming part of it. It is like all possibility comes into play, but your thoughts are the logic side of it. Is how does that actually work out? If I was in a romantic relationship right now, how does that change my life? How would my life look different? All right. And then we go into the communication and we start looking at how would I communicate differently if I was in a loving relationship? For example, I always love this. I use this one a lot. And so think about a person in a loving relationship. And you're just imagine for a moment that you're absolutely infatuated with another person and they're infatuated with you. This person, no matter what goes wrong in their life and no matter how bad a mood they're in, what kind of struggle they're in or anything else, you just love this person and you're there for them. Okay. Don't talk about rescuing them, because rescuing is a whole other thing. We need to stop rescuing each other. We're in for the experience of each other. And so in a loving relationship, that's really what you're doing, is you're experiencing each other and you're there for each other. Okay. So in a loving relationship where you know that every intention you have is for the best of the person. That's all you want for them. is the absolute best in the world for them. Right? You have confidence and you know that this person has everything they need to be that person, to provide for themselves the best of everything in their life. Every dream they ever had, they have the ability to manifest it, right? And you, as their spouse, know that because you see how amazing they are, right? And then you also accept that they're human and they have highs and they have lows, and you accept them for who they are in this moment. But that's some basics to a loving relationship. All right. So imagine that. Now, this person also feels that way about you. All right. So every action that this person takes is never intended towards harming you. It's never intended to knock you down emotionally. It's never intended to change your thoughts and change the way you are to conform to them. No, they want what's best for you. They just love everything about you, right? They know that you have everything you need to manifest everything you want in life. And they just want to be there to witness it all and support you. And when you fall down, when you have those moments of doubt, they're there to hold you, to say, you know what, it's going to be okay. You've got this. They're the first to pick you up. They're the first to hold that space where you can be vulnerable and safe. Okay. That's being in a relationship. Now imagine you're that person. And so, take a husband and wife, and this is the relationship they're having. Now, imagine the typical scenario. Wife comes home from a long day at work. Oh my gosh, it's been a long and stressful day at the office. They've been on their feet all day, running this fire after fire, emergency work, stress. Oh my God. Then they drive home in traffic and they're absolutely exhausted. And they come in the door and the dinner's not being made. There's nothing prepared for dinner. There's nothing on the stove started. The kids are just kind of in chaos. They don't know what they're doing. Maybe they're playing and they're starting to get grumpy and hungry or whatever, right? And there's just nothing's been done. The kitchen's still got the breakfast dishes lying around. There's dishes in the sink. The kids are eating Cheerios on the living room floor. Okay. And where is this loving human that you're in a relationship with? They're sitting on the couch, watching the hockey game. They got their feet up on the coffee table. They're drinking a beer and they're watching the hockey game. Okay. That is a common scenario. Now, the person who is in a loving relationship that we just described, how would they react when they came in the door? Would they react and be instantly angry and get mad at their spouse for thinking and start thinking he's a lazy bum? He leaves all the work for me to do. He just, look at him. He comes home from work and he doesn't care. Throws Cheerios at the kids to shut them up, turns on the game, opens himself a beer. It's all about him. He doesn't give a crap. He has no concerns for me. I just went through hell of work. I spent a hell of a day coming home in traffic. Who is this asshole I'm married to? Okay. Is that what a loving person in a loving relationship does? Is that what their thought pattern is? Is that what your thought pattern is? Is that where your mind went? I'll tell you, as a person who's been in a loving relationship and is in one, it's not what you think. There's moments and you think that because we all have highs and lows. So don't get me wrong. I've been through this. This is how I learned these lessons. I've been through this. But if you were truly in a loving relationship and you really love this person, you walk in the door and you look at this chaos and you go, holy crap. And you know what you do? You sit down on the couch beside your spouse and you say, hi, honey, I love you. How was your day? Because I know as a person in a loving relationship, I know that this man that I'm married to, sitting on this couch, drinking a beer, watching TV, letting the world around him sit in chaos, would not be doing that if he possibly could change it in any way. But whatever his day has been, my first assumption is that whatever his day has been, has broken him down to the point that he's walked in the door and he can't cope with it. He's done. And that what he needs in order for him to get the energy to carry on from that moment was to sit down, turn on the hockey bank, check out, and have a beer and just decompress. And so my assumption is he's had a hell of a day. Or my assumption is like he's fulfilling a need that in order for him to be the man that I love and to be able to be in this who he is that I love so much, he needed to take that moment and do that. Okay. And so as his loving partner, I'm going to sit down beside him. And now immediately, as soon as he comes in the door and he sees my presence, he's immediately going to go into a defeated position of crap. She came home before I got my crap together and was able to deal with things. He knows that he's done a crappy job. He knows the kids should not be sitting on the living room floor eating Cheerios. That ain't dinner. He knows that. He's been around, lived here, right? He's been on Earth a few years. He gets it. And so he's instantly feeling that he's let his spouse down. Now, if his spouse comes in and confirms that, yep, you let me down, you're a total jerk, he's just going to feel worse. And he's going to feel more rejected and he's going to withdraw from the relationship. But if that same spouse comes in the door, pours themselves a glass of wine and joins them on the couch and sits down beside him and says, I love you. How was your day? And doesn't expect an answer, because chances are you're probably going to get a grunt. Okay. You can say, yeah, mine was exhausting too. And you can take that couple of minutes to hold space and say, I accept you. Okay. Now, sometimes that's enough that makes the other person have enough energy to go, thank you. And now that coming into harmony as a loving relationship, that's a loving relationship. That's the way you think. And when somebody fully accepts you and you fully accept somebody else in their moment, that's hugely transformational. And it can be so transformational, it gives you enough energy to actually get up and do what it is that you couldn't be able to do. So you know what? You do that, he might have gone, after a couple of minutes, you go, oh, don't worry, honey, I got dinner. I'll throw it on. And he'll get up and start doing it and give you that moment that he just had when you weren't home. Okay. Or maybe his day was so bad, he's still not capable of it and can't even think of it, can't even get it. And you're sitting there going, I don't have the energy. And you're going to go, so you're, you know what, hon? I'm going to order in because I haven't got the energy either. And I don't expect you, anything of you, because I can see that you don't. So I'm going to order in. Or I'm going to make something real stupidly easy, right? The point is, you're not in a state of judgment. That's a very different perspective. Now, from that perspective of acceptance in the relationship, you can imagine now you've taken this fantastic imaginary relationship of what it would be like to have, somebody love you like this and to love somebody else that way. And now you've gone through the logic of, okay, even though I'm madly in love with this person, I am still living the life. And I've applied it to my daily scenarios. All right. Now that's where you create affirmations from. And that affirmation is going to tone how you communicate. So the affirmation is, I am fully accepted in a loving relationship. I accept my partner unconditionally. I know my partner will do everything he can to meet the needs of myself and our relationship and our life together. I know that I will do everything that I possibly can to meet the needs of my partner and our relationship and the life we're building together. Do you see how the statements are about how your behavior is going to be coming from a position of somebody who's in the experience? That's really how you create deep, Transformational affirmation. Now, when you go on the internet and you go affirmations for a positive relationship and you read through that list, if you just take that list and you just start reading it, it's going to have a little bit of an effect. But if you take that list and use it to inspire you for wording of how to state what your imagination is, or you throw out the list and create that affirmation from this process of imagining and applying logic of actual experience, and you create the affirmation, that is going to have far more deeper impact on the alignment between your imagination, your thoughts, your logic, and your communication. That's really going to bring this into focus. Okay, that's how you create a positive affirmation. Now, taking it further, once you do affirmations, they are meant to be something that you do on a regular basis. And the idea is that you're going to repeat an affirmation enough that you convince yourself. It's not so much that you convince yourself. That's a bad word to use. Okay, so you're going to say the affirmation to the point that it becomes what you believe and where you act out of. All right. Affirmations, in my opinion, do not work alone. They are an excellent tool to align this, but if you truly want to manifest, you have to involve the heart, which is your emotion, and you have to involve your action, your lower chakras, which is your physical world, right? So saying the affirmations, feeling the experience in your emotions, and then physically responding from that point of view. Okay, that's what actually creates manifestation. So affirmations are great for toning in on the upper chakras. Okay, they are best to be said first thing when you wake up in the morning, right? Because think about it, you're waking up out of sleep and you're coming in, you're going into the world. What should you do when you wake up? You should bring into union the upper chakras, breathe into that heart, decide on the emotion you want to feel. Feel the emotion that you want to set the tone of the day with. And then do some physical movements so that your body is woken up. Your body physically moves. All right. So affirmations fulfill that real straightforward, brings everything on board first thing in the morning. So first thing in the morning is a great time to do it. I also find that mid-afternoon, most of us take a break somewhere around between 2 and 4 o'clock in the day. We usually take a break for a cup of coffee or a quick walk or whatever. It's a common break time, right? Go pick up kids, whatever it is. That's another really good time to anchor in repeating your affirmations. Take a moment and do your affirmations, right? And then the other time, because it actually readjusts your day and brings you that focus for the rest of the day. And then the final time that is really high powerful is at the end of the day. And the reason why I want to say it at the end of the day, before we go to sleep, we say our affirmations, because it's setting our mind and our imagination into the subconscious. It's moving into that time when we are shutting down our conscious awareness and moving into our subconscious, and we're moving into dream. So when we state those affirmations, we're directing it as we're putting everything else to rest. All right, so those are my 3 favorite times for affirmations. Anytime during the day is a great affirmation. Another thing that with affirmations that people don't often think about is our personal sayings. And this is a really key thing to look at. Our personal sayings are really affirmations. All right. Here's a famous one in my life, in my family, that my dad has said my entire life. And it is this: that's life. Better get used to it. Now, as a kid, it drove me nuts. I hated it. Absolutely hated it. I thought, what do you mean get used to it? I don't like what's happening. I ain't going to get used to it. I'm going to create my life. Right. And so a very long time, that statement had a lot of negative connotations to me. So every time I say it, it was negative. It was a negative statement to me. And I think in his mind, it might not have been. And it took me a long time to realize in his life, it was like saying, that's life, better get used to it. It's not worth fighting. That's another way of saying it. It's not worth fighting about. It's not worth fighting. It's life. Don't stop fighting life. Life happens. Stop fighting against it. And that's what we do, is a lot of fighting against our life. The thing that stops all of us is ourselves. We fight against how life is presenting itself. Anyhow, so, but that, to him saying that, that's life, better get used to it. It helped him let things that were out of his control go so he didn't get hung up on them. That is a form of affirmation. Okay. I never fail. I just learn. That's another positive affirmation, and it becomes a personal saying. I love life. There's a basic affirmation. I love life. So sometimes our personal slogans, some of our affirmations can become our personal slogans. My company slogan, discover the magnificence of being human. That means a lot to me. I don't know if it means anything to anybody else. Please drop in a comment if it means something to you, or tell me what you think of that line. Discover the magnificence of being human. To me, it says a lot. All right. So it actually, when I see that tagline on all my media stuff, and when I'm doing my work and I see discover the magnificence of being human, that's what I'm reminded of, is that, you know what, this is an amazing experience to be human. And it is so freaking fantastic that my soul decided to come here. I want to bring more of my soul here because I want to live more here. And I have other videos talking about what that actually means. But it's a huge one for me. And it truly is magnificent to be human. And so that tagline reminds me all the time that it's magnificent to be human. So look at what our slogans and our affirmations and everything are. Also look at what is being repeated to you from the social collective, from the social collective. Because if we're repeating, I saw it a lot when my kids were young with parenting. It's like, oh, I can't take the kids anymore. Oh, that's teenagers. They're always under your nerves. Figures it's a freaking kid. What are they going to do, right? There's a lot of things we say to discount kids, parents, each other in all sorts of different ways. Take a moment and really look at those. Those are affirmations, and they're called negative affirmations. And if you're saying them, then you're affirming in your life the negativity. And I invite you to go and investigate what it is and hear it when you start noticing when you hear it from other people. Oh, kids, I can't wait for them to grow up and get out of the house. I don't want my kids no, I want to enjoy my kids now, because this precious moment while they're under my roof and I get to see them every day, that is a gift that one day I know I will miss. It'll be different and it'll be wonderful, whatever it is, but I'll miss it. And that's very true. I missed when my kids were little. I missed my kids in their teens even, right? I love them who they are today. I think they're amazing, and I have so much fun with them when I see them today, but I don't see them the same way I did then. It's a totally different experience with them today as it was then. So don't discount what you're in, right? There's another affirmation that I actually have written right across the top. I have two affirmations, which I use as focus points on the top of my computer. One of them is just do it. The old Nike slogan, right? Just do it. I need that. Just do it. Life's happening. Just do it. Right? Stop thinking about it. Just do it. That's a big one. That's an affirmation. Another affirmation I have is be a hype girl. I love that. I forget where that comes from. I think there might actually be a coach or somebody out there that's called Hype Girl or whatever. But I love that slogan. Be a hype girl. What does that mean? That means be the one that hypes everybody up. Be the one that confirms to everybody, that encourages everybody and says, yeah, you're freaking amazing. Like, be that girl. Be that hype girl. That's what that means to me. It's a great affirmation. Anyhow, there you go. There's my whole thought on affirmations. I hope you got some good information from this. I hope you use affirmations. I hope you think about them a little differently now. They are a valuable tool for manifesting. And please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and share it, comment. Love to hear from you. See you all next time. Bye-bye.